One of the reassuring things that I have in my mind that I've built over time, Jamal, good morning. One of those things, Miss Jocelyn, is that every day that I get up, I'm going to try to put my best foot forward. Every day that I get up, I'm going to try to put my best foot forward. I'm not going to beat myself up for how I didn't do well yesterday. I'm not going to beat myself up on how I didn't do well last week or last month. And here's the deal. I am far beyond, at least I'm learning to be far beyond people's opinions of how I did yesterday, last week, or last year. I am trying to be a better version of me every day. I'm trying to be a better version of me every day. It's me versus me. I'm trying to be a better version of me every day. Now, with this community, that's the movement that I believe everybody should be moving in the direction. That's the direction I think everybody should be moving in. Okay? Your goal is to become a better version of you every day. There's always room for improvement. Now, when you Miss Linda, when you grab a hold of that statement, there's always room for improvement. I mean, the person who called you conceited and cocky and arrogant, they're an idiot. Because if you're cocky, arrogant, and conceited, that means you pretty much think you got it going on and you got it on lock. Okay? Well, when you realize, Minister Evelyn, when you realize there's always room for improvement, I don't have it all together. I am simply trying to become a better version of myself. I think that's a healthy position to be in. How many of y'all agree with me? How many of y'all believe that when a person has found the comfortable position to know that they don't have it all together, that don't fall in the line of conceited, that don't fall in the line of arrogant? Okay, so we got these people out there, they judging all this judgment going on out there with people. And you're trying. I don't know about you, but I'm trying. And I'm not trying to please others. I'm trying to be the better version of me on a daily basis. I'm trying to be a better version of me. And then they got these spectators, people who ain't doing nothing with their lives, sitting on the sidewalk of observation and trying to bring judgment on persons like myself who are trying. You're trying, okay? And the best thing you can do for yourself is to realize it's not about other people's opinion. It's about you learning how to find that place with God, that when you show up, God, I just want to put my best foot forward today. And tomorrow, I want to put my best foot forward. And the next day, I want to put my best foot forward. The whole concept of judging and comparing is not a part of who we are. It's not a part of who I am. I have no time to judge you. I have no time to compare myself with you. I have discovered that I am so far off from who I truly believe I am destined to be that I'm only working on me. So Danola, good morning. Kamara, good morning. I am working on me. There is no judgment in me about others. Okay? There is no judgment in me about others. I want to see everybody win. I want to see everybody advance. I want to see, but here's the deal. As much as I want to see everybody win, everybody's not going to win. As much as I want to see everybody advance, everybody's not going to advance. But here's what I know. I am not responsible for everybody. I'm responsible for me. I'm responsible for me. So I have two things. Okay, Kamara, I have two things that I really am big on in this season. Number one, I want to discover the truth and I want to live the truth that I discovered. Okay, number one, I want to discover the truth. What's the truth? I want to find out what's the truth. And then the question is, am I living it? Because I don't want to just be the guy who knows truth but doesn't reflect the truth that he knows. Okay, I want to know the truth and then I want to live the truth so that truth can set me free and I can live at a liberated place. I want to live at a liberated place. That's number one. Now, the next thing is every day I want to discover, how can I be better? How can I be better? How can I get my act together? Now, let me tell you something. Boy, that's some work. That's some work because I'm human. I got flaws. I got weaknesses, man. I got challenges. I got habits. Listen, if you leave it up to me, I will eat junk food every day, all day. If you leave it up to me, I'll binge watch TV all day. If you leave it up to me, I'll stay on social media all day. If you leave it up to me, I'll play dominoes all day. If you leave it up to me, I'll go back to Nassau, go on Soldier Road, and hang out on Sugar Kidbo Corner and talk like I knew everything that was going on in the world, when the truth is I ain't making no impact in the world because I'm just standing up on this corner. But I've chosen every day, God help me to figure out how to be a little bit better, how to be a little bit better. And I missed the mark. I missed the mark. I don't return calls on time. I don't reply to emails on time. Just I don't read my book on time. I don't do this on time. And I'm saying that because I want you to know, I'm not trying to say I'm perfect. Just as you can't say you're perfect, the goal is for you to realize you're working on you. And if you're working on you, and if you're getting better, let me tell you something, you're heading in the right direction because most people aren't getting better. Most people aren't getting better. Keep that as your mantra, getting better with age. Let's all say that. 10 of us, let's all say that this morning in the chat. I'm getting better with age. I'm getting better with age. Now, you got to feel that. Don't worry about what other people think. If you get it, if you see it, if you write it, if you're working on it and you start to manifest it, over time, they'll see it. But it doesn't start with what they see. It doesn't start with what they say. It starts with what you know. I'm getting better. I'm getting better with age. Glory to God. And if you can say that with confidence, you need to get up and walk with some pep in your step this morning. I am getting better with age. I am getting better with age. You better walk like you know it. Okay? Walk like you know it. I'm getting better with age. I am not going to beat myself up. Listen, man, I am not I'm not where I used to be. Hello, somebody. I am not where I used to be. Hello? Every area of my life is coming together. Every area of my life is coming together. God is on my side. Glory to God. And I'm looking back at my life and I'm grateful for where I am. Hello? Because it could be so much worse. Oh, man, I was in a bad place last month, last year, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. But look at God. You are here. Rise and shine and give God the glory because you're getting better with age. Declare that this morning. I'm getting better with age in every aspect of my life. Faith, family, finance, fitness, and fun. It's all coming together. God is being glorified by how I show up on a daily basis. God is being glorified. Who could say that? God is being glorified by how I show up on a daily basis. Now, here's what I want you to know. You are responsible for your legacy. You are responsible for how you are remembered. The clock is ticking. The clock is ticking, and none of us know when our day is coming. None of us know when our day is coming. But here's what we cannot be afraid of. We cannot be afraid of death. Just like we cannot be afraid of change because change is inevitable, death is inevitable. We're all going to die. We're all going to die. And let me tell you something. I am now trying to put my best forward to ensure that when I die, I would have lived my best life to the fullest. You like that, Jamal? Vito, you like that? I know I'm going to die one day. I know the clock is going to run out on me. I know the day when Ricardo Miller can no longer do a video. Okay, they can no longer write a book, can no longer speak at an event. Ricardo Miller is going to be gone. Ricardo Miller is going to be gone. But here's the deal. My goal henceforth is that every day I want God to be glorified through my life. So today is my day. Somebody says, God is with me today, so I'm going to show up. Hello. Come on, Megs. God is with me today, so I'm going to show up. I'm going to put my best foot forward. Listen, people, let's all get delivered. Let's all get delivered. I pray to God that no one in our effective living community finds themselves thinking about what other people think of them more than they're thinking about how they can do what God is calling them to do. Get to the point where your mindset is built on what God's view of you is and how you can make manifested principles in your life work for you that God can look down and smile on you. Okay, I want God to be pleased in all that I do. I want God to be pleased in all that I do. So God is with me today. I'm going to show up. Hello, I'm going to show up. And so here's the deal. Here's the deal. I believe that you and I have a responsibility to do the work to leave a legacy, to make our imprint in the earth, to know that your time is not forever, and that if days are expensive, I don't have time to waste. Okay, I don't have time to wait. So I woke up this morning motivated. I'm going to go to bed tonight satisfied. Why am I going to go to bed satisfied? Because I made a to-do list. I made a list of things that I need to do to make sure that everything that I'm doing today is going to move me forward. Okay, how many of y'all get that? Everything that I do today is going to move me forward. And the goal is to start paying attention. What's taking from you but not moving you forward? What's taking from me and not moving me forward? And then you got to start adjusting that so that you can have better control of your life. Your life is a reflection of what you give the most of your time to. Okay, your life is a reflection to what you give most of your time to. So what you got to do now is you get up this morning and you tell yourself, listen, man, listen, I don't have time to waste. And that is not something you tell others. That's something you have to remind yourself. There are people, Mother Katie, there are people who tell others that I don't have time to waste. See, you telling them that like you're trying to persuade yourself. I'm telling you, you got to show up like you know you don't have time to waste. So because you are responsible. That's what effective living is. Effective living at its best is you being responsible with what God has given you to manage. Write that down. Effective living, it's you being responsible with what God has given you to manage. I want to be known for having been responsible for what God has given me to manage. Ricardo, what has God given you to manage? He has given me my potential. And Megs, here's what I have to do. I have to become all that He has called me to be in the timeline that He has given me life. So every day I'm trying to squeeze out that which is in me, so humanity, so mankind, so the world can be blessed with what I have, so that before I die, I would have left it all on the floor. I would have given it all out. And then I would have said, you know what? It is finished. I am done. I've provided the service I believe God has called me to do in the earth. Here's what I found, Megs. Here's what I found to be true, Camara. Consistency is the key, beautiful people. When you discover the principle that is right, you got to fight to make it a consistent part of your life. Consistency. Consistency is the key. Let me tell you something. There is no small undertaking to do 5 of these sessions every morning the entire year, you know. For the whole year, consistency is key. Consistency is key. Consistency is key. And let me tell you something. Can you tell when I have a bad morning? Everybody has a little bad morning. Everybody has little bad days. Everybody has seasons of high and lows. But let me tell you something. You got to learn how to not let your feelings be your guide and discover that your life is going to be based on principles founded in the Word of God. And when you discover the principle that is true, the principle that is right, that's what you're going to give yourself to. Somebody said, I don't feel it today. It's not how I feel, it's what I see. And what I see is I see a future brighter than where I am right now. And if I allow my feelings to govern my performance, there will be days I won't get up out of bed. If I allow my feelings to get up, I'm gonna piss some people off. I'm gonna cuss some people out. I'm gonna just all up in my feelings. But let me tell you something. I do have feelings. You have feelings. We all have feelings. But let me tell you something. For the people who have not learned how to manage their feelings. Okay? The people who have not learned how to put their feelings under their feet and says, listen, All things are permissible to me, but not all things are beneficial. All feelings will come and submit itself to me, but I'm not going to allow those feelings to take control of me. I know how I feel, but I also know that if I allow how I feel to govern how I act, I'm going to lose. I said that that's real profound right there. That right there is worth the whole session this morning. If I allow my feelings to govern how I feel, I will lose. I will lose. So here's the time. There are some times I gotta zip it. There are some times you just gotta shut up. There are some times you just gotta get up. There are some times you just gotta do. But here's the deal. When you discover the truth, the kicker here is, you gotta be consistent. Oh man, you got to be consistent. When you discover the principles that is right, you got to now stop. So people know, listen, I learned a few years ago, the 5 a.m. club. These are the people who actually get more out of life. It's a known group. The 5 a.m. club are people who are trying to get the most out of their day. So I started my 5 a.m. I want to get up. I heard readers are leaders. So I started reading books. I learned that you got to watch your association. I started watching my association. Listen, the truth only benefits you when the truth is activated, when you discover it. But here's the deal. A lot of us have discovered truth over the years, but we haven't been consistent. We haven't been consistent. It's not that you didn't figure out what you needed to do. It was that you kept starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and stopping, starting and stopping. And guys like me, who is not as educated as you, not as talented as you, don't have as much money as you, doesn't have, but because I'm consistent. Minister Carol, there's a ton of people who, if you put them on the same plateau of me and you put qualifications, they run circles around me when it comes to qualification. They got the degree, they got the education, they got the background, they got the association, they got the talent. I can't dance, I can't sing, I don't have the degree. Come on, man. I don't have no gifts other than consistency. Oh, come on, boy. I discovered a little truth, and I'm consistent with working that little truth. I've discovered little truth, and I've been consistent with those little truths. And here's what that does. Over time, you get rising. Because what happens is chip, 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 chip. And here's a lot of people. They want to establish a legacy. They want to make a difference in the earth. And they have the talent. They have the education. They have the connection. They have the gift. But they're not consistent. They're all over the place. They're all over the place. It will affect you, ladies and gentlemen. It will affect you. As we close this out, I want you to think about this. Getting your life in order takes incredible amount of honesty and strength. Okay? Getting your life in order takes an incredible amount of honesty and strength. You want to leave a legacy, then you're going to need to embrace consistency by example. That basically, when you look at your life, you could see that, boy, you were working it. You've been working it, and you're working it to set up a standard for the next generation and those who have been called to be influenced by you, that you showed up and you gave them something worth looking at, admiring, and working into their lives because you set a great model. I want to be a good example. Come on. I want to be a good example. I prefer, Minister Carol, listen to this. I prefer to be a better example than a better speaker. I prefer to be a better example than a great speaker. I prefer to be a better example. I prefer to be a better example. So here's a couple of things that I found that I'm working on in setting up my legacy. I want you to write these down and start looking into this. Ask yourself, how am I doing? Number one, get to know yourself inside out. Number one, get to know yourself inside out. How well are you doing? How well are you doing? I know you live in a nice house, but the question is, how well are you doing? I know you got the degree, but the question is, how well are you doing? I know you ain't got no money shortage, but how well are you doing? Number one, get to know yourself inside out. There's just too many people. There's just too many people who are in our world, they're just not in a good place. They're just not in a good place. And it's because they haven't taken the time to get to know themselves inside out. Yes, you got the car. Yes, you got the promotion. Yes, you got the girl. Yes, you got the guy. Yes, you got the degree, but you're not in a good place on the inside. Get to know yourself inside out. Who are you? At this stage in my life, why am I intimidated by walking into rooms when I'm a full-grown man? Why am I afraid to speak the truth when the truth was supposed to help everybody? My children, my marriage, my friends, my neighbors. Listen, the truth will set you free. But the question is, a lot of us are not in a good place when it comes to knowing thyself. To thine own self be true. Number one, get to know yourself inside out. Number two, start to love who you really are. Number two, start to love who you really are. You would be amazed. You'll be amazed how long it took me to learn how to love me. As a matter of fact, I struggled keeping my beard because I had people, Bahamian people. Boy, if you're from the Bahamas, they so rude. They so we could be straightforward. Boy, Malini, cut that beard off. Boy, I put 10 years on you. You look like a grandpa, right? And I started feeling that. Boy, I started feeling it's my gray beard. It's my beard. It's me. It's mine. Okay, I live long enough to have gray. Okay, but here's the deal: we're all trying to live for others when the truth is, are you okay? However, I'm okay with me, I should be okay with me. So number two, start to love who you really are, and whatever that means is going inward and discovering, why don't I like me? When the truth is, here's the deal. When you don't like you and you are called to, you're called to bless the world, when you're called to influence generations, when you're called to make a difference and you're struggling with you, let me tell you something. It's going to hinder your potential at the core. It's going to hinder your potential at the core. So if you want to be your best self, you got to learn to love you. This is who I am. I have an accent. Certain words I don't pronounce correctly. Let me tell you something. I love life. I am committed to trying to be my best self. I'm not everybody's cup of tea and all that good stuff, but I like me. And I'm learning to like me even more. I'm not into comparison. I didn't like the size of my shoes one time. I didn't like the size of my head. I didn't like my gray beard. I didn't like the size of my hat. I didn't like this. I didn't like that. Those were what God blessed. I didn't like the size of my nose. I mean, come on, man. Come on. You got to get over yourself. You know how many people are struggling with loving themselves? And they are not taking the time to figure out, boy, you better learn to like you. You better learn to love you. Okay, let's go to number three. Okay, number three, guys. Number three, recognize your value and know your worth. Recognize your value and know your worth. Kamara, that one right there. My wife has helped me so much with this one. Oh, man, let me tell you something. I've been doing what I've been doing for the longest. I've been doing this for more than 25 years. Okay? But more than 25 years. David, I still struggling with putting a price on my value. I still struggle with telling people a price. I still struggle with sticking with the price. Okay? But here's the deal. I know that where I belong demands that there is a certain financial position that I need to acquire to be there. But you can't get there if you don't know your value, because there's a world out there that will take advantage of you. Dr. Jerry Walson told me this when I first moved to Arlington. He says, son, how much you charge for your workshops? I said, I don't charge. I just allow people to come in and whatever they want to give me. He says, son, don't do that. I said, what do you mean? I said, I'm from the Bahamas, man. See, I was trying to be all spiritual. This is the pastor of the church of Dominion Church in Arlington back then. I was trying to be all spiritual. I said, I'm from the Bahamas. You don't understand. It ain't about money for me. It's about impacting lives. Listen, that sounds good, right? That sounds good. But here's the deal. I was the same guy who needed a donation from the church, but yet he's trying to give me an advice on how I don't have to be living based on donation. So he says, son, how much you going to charge? I said, well, I'm not charging. This is 20 plus years ago. I said, I won't charge. He said, you need to charge. I said, so what should I charge? He says, this is 20 years ago, Miss Cynthia. Miss Cynthia, this 20 years ago, he says, in the Dallas Forward area for an hour of your time needs to be $500. 20 years ago. Do you know how long it took me to charge $500 for an hour? It took me, I think I just started charging that maybe about 10 years ago. I done been in this country 23 years ago. It took me 10 years ago. Then when I started charging $500 an hour, I was sitting at the table of people who were making $1 million a year and wondering why I'm the only one at this table who ain't made $1 million this year. It's because I don't understand the value. I don't understand the factor that I was being advised along the way to make sure that I put an appropriate amount on my value. You're good at what you do, son. That's what the man says. Put a price on it. I said, well, I don't want to put no price on it because I'm from the Bahamas and we ain't about the money. We ain't about the money. I still struggle with that to this day. I still struggle with it. We ain't about the money. So here's what he is. Here's what he said. He said, son, if you don't put the money on it, he said, people will dry. He said, they'll come and sucker you for everything you got. And then he said, they'll go on to next. This is the pastor telling me in this office. He said, they will sucker you. And he says, they will squeeze everything. They'll have you busy. You'll be around speaking everywhere. And he says, before you know it, he said, they'll dry you out of everything you got. And then they'll go on to next. Because he said that, but you got to learn how to protect yourself in knowing your value. I told you, it's still one of the areas that is strongly an issue for me when it comes to putting a price out there. That's why I need a good assistant who puts on the side and say, this is the price, take it or leave it. Okay? So recognize your value and know your worth. Know your worth. Know your worth. I was in a meeting not so long ago. A person said, well, we like Miller. He's the cheapest out of all of the people we bring in. He's the cheapest. That's what they said. He's the cheapest. You know why? Why is he the cheapest, Kamara? Why is he the cheapest, Minister Evelyn? Because the boy ain't comfortable putting the price on the table. Now, where's that coming from? I got to go inside of me and I got to address, why am I struggling putting the price on the table? The price is the price. I like nice stuff. Okay? I would love to have me a G-Wagon before my 50th. I would love to, go to Dubai and ride a camel and be up in the penthouse in Dubai. I would love to do all of what's in my bucket list. It's going to cost me some money. And I'm a professional. So somebody ought to pay me what a professional deserves so that I can live my life. But if I don't know my worth, I'm not going to do right, and it's going to hurt me in the long run. Next one is number 4, become the best version of you. Become the best version of you. It's not about comparing how well you are to others. It's how well you should be for you. So when people see me trying to elevate, grow, and become, number 4, guys, become the best version of you. People look at me, I'm not competing with anybody. I'm just trying to figure out how to become the best version of me. I just want to become the best version of me. In every area of my life, I want to become the best version of me. Next one, guys. Listen, live your authentic life unapologetically. That's where I am right now. That's why I can be very candid with you. Yes. Number 5, live your authentic life unapologetically. Unapologetically, live authentic. It is what it is. There is no elephant in the room. There is no skeleton in the closet. I don't have no issue with nobody but to love them. Listen, man, I started an LLC versus a ministry because I said I don't want to have to live on having to be nice, hoping someone give me a donation. Just pay me my price and then go on with your business if you want. Okay, but you got to get this. You got to go ahead. Number 4 was become the best version of yourself. Number 5 is live your authentic life unapologetically. Unapologetically. Figure out who you are. You like nice things. I like nice things. I like suits. I love tailored suits. Listen, man, if I had the money, I would pay 10 grand for shoes. If I wanted the shoes, okay, I'll pay 10 grand for a suit. I would pay 200 grand for a car if I wanted the car. Okay, I would pay for it. That's me. That's me. That's what I want. That's what I want. I'll pay 100 grand for a watch if I want to watch. If I want to watch. I'm 47 years old. Did I say that already for the day? Learning to embrace that. Well, I would never spend that kind of money. Well, praise the Lord. Leave me alone. I would. If I would spend that kind of money, I would spend that kind of money. If you wouldn't spend that kind of money, then shut up and leave me alone. At the end of the day, you do you, boo. Okay? You do you. I'm going to do me, and we're going to live life effectively. Okay? Last but not least. Never lose yourself again. Never lose yourself. A lot of people have lost themselves along the way. But you got to tell yourself, you've lost yourself to fit into groups, to fit into rooms, to fit into circles, and then you're not in a good place because you gave yourself away, never owning who you are, and then you're not liking who you are, only to find yourself on the bed of regret, on the porch of regret. Man, who you are and who you're becoming needs to be about what God is about for you. And everybody's not going to be that way. So here's the deal. Never lose yourself again. Never lose yourself again. There are all kinds of imps. There's them devils out there that's just trying to seek whom they may devour. And one of the best ways to kill a person's potential is to help them to stay far from being their authentic self. When you're not you, you can't bless humanity with truly who you were placed here to be in giving humanity what you were placed here to give. So don't lose yourself again. Okay? You are responsible for how you show up on a daily basis. I gotta go. I enjoyed this session. Here's the deal. I like living life to the fullest. The question is, are you doing the work to make sure you are liking how you're living on a daily basis? You're responsible. You are responsible. Next week, we're going to do a teaching. I'm doing this teaching on how to stop being triggered. Yeah, how to stop being triggered. How to stop being triggered. There's so many of us. We're losing because how we've allowed ourselves to be triggered. These concept is practical, but if you stick with it, remember, consistency is key. You can't be in and out, man. You can't be in and out. So many people have started the right thing, but they haven't been consistent with the thing they've started, and that's why they're not seeing no return. They've tried it all, but they're not stick with anything. And the truth is, your life is going to be a reflection of how you've done and what you have done with the consistent part of applying the principles you've discovered along the way. I'm Coach Ricardo Miller. I'm assigned to help you. I'm glad you joined me this morning. Don't forget those practical things we talked about. Do the inner work. It's a part of living life effectively. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.